All right, so guys, this is number 14 out of the review. And it says 37% of adults say cashews are their favorite kind of nut. You randomly select 12 adults and ask each to name his or her favorite nut. Find the probability that the number who say cashews are their favorite nut is A, exactly 3, B, at least 4, C, at most 2. And it says, if convenient, using technology to find the probabilities, and we are definitely going to use our calculator app for this. Okay, so first thing I know here, we're going to select 12 people, right? So my n is going to be, equal to 12. The probability that people like or say that cashews are their favorite kind of nut is 0.37, okay? And for part A, we're trying to figure out of those 12, what's the probability that exactly 3 of them love cashews, okay? So in part A, x is going to be equal to 3. So because we're trying to find the probability of 3, this is a binomial distribution. So I'm going to use something called my Binomial Pdf, okay? Now when I do this, guys, I'm going to put 3 values here. And their values are going to be n, p, and x. So in this case, I'm going to go Binomial Pdf of n, which is 12, my probability, which is 0.37, and my x value, which is 3. Oops, sorry. That doesn't look like a 37, so let's fix that. There we go, a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to use my calculator to do this part here. And it says round to the nearest thousands, that is 3 decimal places. So let me get my calculator going, let me clear this, second and vars. Binomial Pdf is right there. And we said 12, comma, 0.37, comma, 3. And you can see right here it says number of trials, p and x. Those are my number of trials, my probability, and my x. And I'm coming up with 0.174. Okay, so 0.174 is my answer. And to show you that I'm shooting you straight, I'm going to come right here and type in 0.174. Hit enter. Perfect. Okay, now let's do part B. Okay, so we're going to do B right here. Okay, so part B says at least 4. So I want you to look, they even wrote it out for me here. Probability that x is bigger than or equal to 4. So what that means is I'm going to take the probability of 4 and of 5 people and of 6 people, and I'm going to do this all the way until I get to the 12th person, right? So I want you to think about this for a second, right? Remember how many people that they selected? They selected 12 adults, right? So if I were to take the probability that nobody likes cashews, none of the 12, or 1 or 2, and I were to play this game all the way until I got up to 12, okay, the answer here would be equal to 1. Okay, that's my probability distribution. So if I'm trying to find from 4 until 12, what I can do is I can say, look, why don't I find from 0 to 3, and then if I subtract this value from 1, then I'll be left with the 4 to 12, okay? So I'm going to do 1 minus, and I'm going to put this in parentheses so you can see what I'm doing, 0 and 1 and 2 and 3, okay? Now the reason why I'm writing this out here is that I can do this piece on my calculator. Okay, so I'm going to do it here for you. So I'm going to go 1 minus. Now instead of using my Binomial Pdf, I can do something called Binomial Cdf. Okay, and I'm still going to use 12, and I'm still going to use 0.37, but the C stands for cumulative. And it says we're going to add up all the ones from 0 to, to 3, okay? So look, I'm going to do this piece on my calculator, and then whatever I get, I'm going to do 1 minus that. So, second vars, Binomial Cdf, which is down here towards the bottom. We have 12, comma, 0.37 comma 3. Okay. Notice it's different from the value that I got before, right? The value that I got before was just at 3. This one is saying 0, 1, 2, and 3, and add them all up. Now I'm going to do 1 minus my answer, and I'm coming up with 0.705. Excuse me. So 0.705 as my value, and I will come back here, and I will type that in there, 0.705, and there we go. Okay, and then I think there is a part C, and it says smaller than or equal to 2. Okay, so let's do that part. Here we go. Okay, excuse me, probability that x is smaller than or equal to 2. So remember what that means. It means we're going to take 0 and 1 and 2, and we're going to add them all up. Okay, so if I'm going to find these here, and I'm going to add these all up, then I can go ahead and use my, excuse me, Binomial Cdf one more time, okay, with my n still being 12, my p still being 0.37, and we're stopping now at 2. Okay, so let's go second in vars and Binomial Cdf, and 12 comma 0.37 comma 2, and I'm coming up with 0.120 as my answer. And when I chickadee check before I riggedy wreck, boom, there we go. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you got any questions, please let me know.